Good evening, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me tonight here in the Simple Cooking with Heart kitchen, coming to you virtually from my home to yours so you can kick back and either cook along with me or just watch, have a good time, relax. This is a recipe I've actually really, I've been looking forward to doing because I love the idea that you can do it with the can of salmon. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but my mom used to pop up in those cans of salmon all the time, and she would make these beautiful, salmon mousse. I think with a bunch of gelatin and the salmon, and they were so good. So I do have some fresh salmon, so I'm probably going to use that. Let's, to get started. What is it? Salmon croquettes. I guess that's kind of like a 50s word, right? So I think, the more trendy, what do they call it now? Salmon cakes. So what's the difference? It's salmon croquette cake, whatever. Easy peasy. But first, I think I'd like to make the sauce. So, which really none of this is a lot of ingredients. The sauce, we're just gonna, our favorite, my favorite, some Greek yogurt and some horseradish, and I think I'm gonna chop up some dill. I gotta look at my cheat sheet. The parsley. I'm sorry, parsley goes in the. What goes in the sauce? I can't read. Help me out there, Wendy. I know we got the horseradish. Let's just dump that in there. I couldn't find any decent horseradish roots, so I'm just using some, classic Gold's prepared horseradish. Okay, yeah. Be careful. Don't buy the prepared horseradish. There's another one that's sauce. That is not completely not the same thing. This is as close to the grated that you're gonna get. Okay, so I'm gonna just dump that in here. Half cup yogurt. I love Greek yogurt. And then I'm going to stir that up. I'm gonna cut up some parsley first before I make a mess with the onion. So we've got a grated onion. It's not a lot, but it's gonna make a mess. So I actually got parsley. Parsley is funny. I haven't planted a fresh batch of parsley in my garden for a while. I've just let it go to seed, and the seeds decide, leave some reseeds. And so, I mean, it doesn't look too bad. Okay, it's not Italian. All right, we can live with that. This was free.
Yeah, free is good.
Yeah, free. I like free. So I think which one am I spotlighting? The overhead, or hey, why don't I spotlight me for a little bit? How about that?
There you go.
I can see the big me. Maybe I like the little me. So we don't need a lot, but 2 tablespoons, and I washed it. I haven't tasted it yet, but yum yum. Actually, it tastes great. I thought it might be bitter because it's not exactly the newest. These are heirloom seeds now. I guess I planted it 5 years ago, and it keeps coming back. God bless it. I could probably save the seeds, right?
On Outlander, they use that to freshen their breath.
Yeah, well, that's exactly what it's good for, and it's full of vitamin C. Full. That's what I love about tabbouleh. I mean, this parsley should be the star. I mean, it's so delicious for you. And go ahead, put it in salads. It holds up. It mixes nicely with all the other, ingredients. Plays nice in the salad sandbox. So that's probably going to be enough for 2 tablespoons. So what if I go a little over? I used to completely poo-poo parsley. You see it on the side of the plates as a garnish, and it was just, everybody used it. It was on every single plate. It just sat there and looked
Green.
Boring. But I don't think they do that as much anymore, right? Now
No.
it's cabbage.
Or curly kale.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. Let me chew that one up. Probably could have grabbed some of the seeds. That would add, celery seeds. That adds a really nice flavor
They're
as
strong,
well.
aren't they? Yeah.
So I got a big crunchy, big pile. You know what I'm going to do, right? I'm just going to mesh it up.
Okay. Roll it.
Okay. Well, let me show you so you can see how I do it. I smush it all up. It's a lot. I mean, it's okay. I'm not really going to damage it anyway. So it's kind of in a controlled pile.
Okay.
And it's just you out there, huh, tonight? All right. Well, we'll skip, you know how we do the blade.
Yeah.
The blade, thumb, pointer finger, these other fingers over here. And then just, I kind of roll it over. And my other hand is still, I still have everything curled under, it's just hitting, my thumb's even tucked behind. And then just reconfigure. Keep going back. Doesn't take long at all. I used to be in awe of the executive chef at the television Food Network when I worked there. Man, he would just plow right through all of this. So 2 tablespoons. Why don't I just put it straight in here? And if it's more than 2 tablespoons, so be it. This is probably like an entire cup.
It'll be healthier.
Exactly. It'll be prettier. Save the rest maybe just to throw on as a garnish later. Beautiful. Actually, that's pretty in my little bowl. Here we go. I may have to switch to a fork. Everything's going to get caught in the
Blades.
Yeah, it always does that. That's why I typically use a fork anyway. Okay. I know I have a fork here. Thank you. There you are.
You coming in?
So just mix that up. Actually, it's a little thick. That's easy to remedy though, right?
Add a little more.
Always make it thinner. Can't make it thicker. Now the onion's going to help. So we're going to use a white onion. No, actually, I think this is a yellow onion. So you know what I like to do. So I'm not going to use a lot of this. So it's really, I only need a tablespoon of the onion. So I might just cut it in half. I'll just straddle it like that. And maybe cut this into a quarter that half. I certainly won't be using half of this onion. It's probably going to make me cry. Okay, now I'm just going to take I like to keep that root end on because it holds it together, it together better. Words are hard. It's been a very, very busy week.
It has, and next week's worse.
Oh dear, don't say that. So this, I guess, would be your classic way to grate an onion. It gives you a thicker, more hearty grate. This, the microplane also works. It's just it's much finer, and I don't think I want it that fine.
It'll be juice.
Yeah. So let's try this. I don't typically like these, but I do like this one because it's kind of cool. It came with a bottom
that's nice. Yeah.
cup. Love that. So you can grate your cheese and whatnot, and it's already in a little boop. And then it has a lid to that. So I've had this one for a while. I probably need to get a new one. And Yeah, this is the good side I like for this kind of grating. So right. I actually think this quarter piece is going to be just the right amount. Whoop. Let me just bring that down. There's still some out here. I try to encourage people to not use a knife. Everybody wants to take the knife and try to scrape off the stuff that's still on there, right? There's still some inside here. It's not really good for your knife. All right, I think I'm done with you. So I think that's just about the perfect amount, actually. And I'm gonna and some juice. Perfect. Quickly, because this is making me cry.
No.
Big time. Go away. Go away. Done with you. Off with her head. Okay, so now I have, let's see if this loosens it up a little bit. So here you can see it. It's nice. Yogurt sauces are, fun, easy,
Healthy.
and it's such a nice alternative to the fattening, heavy cream sauces and white bechamel sauces that I was trained and grew up on.
Yeah.
So this is almost the thickness of a tartar sauce.
Okay.
So perhaps we're right on track. I mean, that makes sense to have it kind of a dollop, not a drizzly one. I like that. Taste it. Because I am the quality control committee. Sometimes I like to, certainly when I'm making a Bloody Mary, I like to use some of the juice in the horseradish container. Sometimes I use so much of the juice, there's really not much else left in here. So let me see what we have. Well, 5 calories for a teaspoon. That's nada. The sodium is 30 milligrams. Carb, 1 carb. So actually, it's pretty good.
Healthy.
Yeah. And I imagine if you were using the fresh one, that level of sodium would probably even go down even more. All right, sauce is ready. You can, go ahead and put that back in the refrigerator for it to chill out a little more if you want, and give it a little bit of time for the flavors to get comfortable with each other. Have a conversation, get married, combine. There's so many salmons out there, but boy, when I went yesterday, I actually was in Baltimore and I figured I'd go to Whole Foods and maybe have a wider selection, to show you the farm raised, sustainably farm raised, wild caught, et cetera, but they only had farm raised from Norway. They said it's a sustainably raised Norwegian salmon.
Nice.
I'm like, all right.
You have a good accent.
I went for the frozen wild caught coho salmon instead.
All right.
And mostly, I guess, because it is wild caught. Secondly, it's a beautiful color. Coho really, and there's no dye. I particularly not crazy about the dyed salmons.
Right.
So of this, I can avoid that. And certainly most of the wild caught doesn't have the dye. And they do have to say that, the dye is in it these days. So we basically want to have the same amount that's in the can, which is 14
ounces.
Okay, so this is the can. If you're going to use the can, make sure you drain it, Yeah, and then flake it up a bit. I think
And
this
peel,
is,
and peel the skin and bones out of it.
I don't think, yeah, I don't think you really need to on the canned
Okay.
ones. It's kind of like sort of deteriorated.
Okay. Like
You know,
cooked. Yeah.
adds a little more a little boost of calcium for
Yeah.
you, and there's so much good nutrition actually in the skin.
Yeah. Okay.
But for the salmon cakes, I don't think keeping the skin is viable. These three here are a little over a pound. So, one is about 6 ounces each. But I figured after I cut off the skin, I'm curious to see what it's going to weigh. So when I'm cutting the skin off of fish, I use quite a bit of a different knife. You want me to go overhead or can you see well?
I can see.
Okay.
Looks
So,
like
and you know how it's really skinny on one side? That's usually where I'll start. Try to get a hold of the skin.
with one finger. Yeah.
Sometimes I'll cut that off.
Okay.
For this particular recipe, it doesn't have to be perfect because I'm, going to hack it up.
Right.
And just slide along. You want to check for bones too. And there we have, that's not my best slice.
There's your cat food.
There's still some of the skin on it. So I can go back in there. Sometimes I even like to go as far as to cut off this gray bloodline part. But sometimes I just go too far. And I need to just relax. It's not necessary. Just sometimes I find it a little bit bitter. Maybe it's on tuna. I definitely cut it out on tuna. So I cut out a little bit of it, and now that piece is beautiful. Salmon is so delicious.
You
can eat it.
Nice.
It's delicious. So there really isn't any, cross-contamination issues here. I'm just doing it on a different cutting board. Actually, it's really delicious. A lot of nice flavor in there. This has been scaled. So I could actually put that in the air fryer and have some delicious, crispy salmon skin.
Wow.
Right, yum.
Just got an air fryer.
I'm sorry?
I just bought an air fryer.
Well, just make sure this still has a few you could see. There's still a few. Don't want those. The scales I don't think are yummy to eat. I may try that later. I'll let you know how that comes out. But why wouldn't it work and be delicious in the air fryer? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or you could bake it. Okay, so here I have another piece. I'm going to do the same thing here. I think the coho salmon skin is much more fragile than that farm raised stuff I had yesterday and Monday. Okay, you don't want to work for me. Fine. I'll go on the other side. Be that way. Try to guide it through. All right, get that. I'm wasting quite a bit here.
That's all right. You're going to air fry it later.
Yeah, you go back over there. Yeah, you really need to make sure. It's so much easier to do it when you have the whole leg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Start at the tail and you go, woo. Sometimes you just rip it off. Some people do that too. But
we used to grill it with the skin on.
Oh, you could totally cook this with the skin on.
and then it would peel off.
Yeah, I thought I'd have, since I did salmon, blackened salmon on Monday's class and Tuesday's class, I thought I'd have some left over because, that would be the idea with your leftover little bits like this that I cut off.
Right.
That's perfect for turning into a croquette, is what I thought. Okay, so what did I say the weight was on?
You wanted 14 ounces. You started with a pound of salmon.
It was a little over a pound. So let's get the scale out. Move that over for a second. I want to see how much we lost. I can't live without my scale. Yeah, they're not expensive, completely worth the investment. And I'll be darned, this one wasn't expensive. It's a good cook brand. Had it forever.
We
mean,
put a food scale in the Healthy Heart Ambassador's graduation box. And then I found out that people don't know how to use it, so they're not using it. I'm like, oh.
They don't know how to use it. Did it not come with instructions? It's not, well, that perhaps you don't understand the tearing.
Right.
Tearing it. So I mean, I always have to press tear, make sure it's on whatever you want, ounces or grams. So this is teared 0 because this has some weight.
Right.
All right, so I'm gonna put this plastic bag in here so I don't have to wash it out.
Smart.
That weighs a quarter of 3/8. So now I have to tear it again because I don't want to add that weight. And now I'm going to put these 3 back in here.
Sheree jumped on.
Okay, close. How much? We get 14.75.
Perfect.
Look at this. This is 14 3/8.
That's awesome.
Interesting, huh? That's what the skin. Very interesting. And I really didn't lose a lot of meat.
Mm-mm.
I think that's good to know. So yeah, that's perfect. Yay. That I really am going to save that. I like that. So now I'm just going to hash this all up. Technically you could do it in like your food processor.
Okay.
Clean this off. But I think that it would be too much. Hack it up.
It is kind of delicate.
Yeah, but you don't want pureed. There's my other knife. So this is my first time doing this. I had a salmon cake at my girlfriend's house, her recipe, and she gave it to me, and I lost it, and it was I think her daughter's, hello fly, go away, like a baby shower or something special. Oh, so good.
And you don't think of it making a croquet as being super party food special.
You don't think of it as being special?
My mom used to make us eat croquet all the time.
Isn't that's interesting? So from the can.
Mm-hmm. From the can.
What did she put in it?
She did turkey croquet. She did chicken croquet. She like croqueted the heck out of food.
That's funny. All right, so I just kind of cut it up, and now I'm gonna just hack away. Hack. I don't even think the pieces need to be super fine. Super fine. Isn't this color gorgeous?
Mm-hmm.
So welcome, Cherie. I see somebody is joined us. Appreciate you coming.
Hi, Sherry.
Hi, sorry, I'm a teacher. It's the day before our last day of school tomorrow, so I'm still in my classroom. But I was trying to get on at 6 and I had so much still going on here. But this is lovely. I'm trying to take a lot more in summer.
Well, please do that. We will always be doing the virtual. This is, Thursday nights. It's it. If you want to come, great. If you can't make it, we have them all on our YouTube channel now. So if you missed it, couldn't find, where I sent the recipe or.
Oh, you have a YouTube link, you said?
Yes, every one I do now goes onto our YouTube channel.
Wow.
So that's our Maryland American Heart Association page. There's the whole Simple Cooking with Heart YouTube videos now. It's pretty exciting. I think it gets a little confusing when you actually put in Simple Cooking with Heart Kitchen, because there's some other videos that show up.
I had to go through the American Heart Association, so heart.org, I think.
Yeah.
Simple Cooking with Health. Then I plucked on your picture.
That's for registering for the class.
Mm-hmm.
But for the videos, I wish they'd put a link to the videos on that page. I think they're actually working on it. Everything is work in progress. We got a great new marketing director, so I'm very happy. Now I'm very pleased with the outcome. I don't think I need to mess with it anymore. What do you think?
Looks good.
It looks good, right?
I would just get a spoon at this point.
No, right, kidding. No, I think I would add definitely the dill and a few other things. So that's great. That's ready. I'm gonna just rinse off my hand. Not gonna go crazy washing it. Why? No, not worried about it. I'm here at home. I know what I touched. Now I need to chop up some dill. And of course, I've got some delicious fresh dill. And if you do it the way I recommend, this is the only way to do it. This dill will last you at least 2 weeks.
Wow.
And I'm not making that up. In 2 weeks' time, I'll pull it out because I probably won't use it all, and I'll show it to you. I washed it really well underwater. I cut the little bit of the roots off, and then I stuck it immediately in water. Doesn't have to be a mason jar, whatever, anything. So it's submerged in the water, and then these are the bags from the grocery store. Nothing fancy. Save them so you can make your greenhouse.
Yeah.
And just tie a little air in it, tie it just gently. If it doesn't fit all the way, the one you have, put it on the top, whatever, rubber band here, whatever works for you. And it'll perk up and it'll just stay beautiful.
Does parsley work that way?
Yeah, everything.
Okay.
All of the herbs last forever. People don't store them properly and they just rot.
Yeah.
So they're expensive. And dill is not one I could particularly grow in my garden. I can't grow dill.
I grew some. It's not hard. Cilantro's hard.
Is it? You have trouble with cilantro too?
I can't grow it.
I look at it and it dies. Look
Right?
at this.
Yep.
I mean, he hasn't been neglected, and these are the cilantro. Even the parsley's not happy in this little thing. I don't know what I think I've got to get it in the ground.
Yeah.
I've used it as a prop for my spice sets. We've been going to communities and talking about how they can make their, recipes better by upping the spices. But then
That's cool.
the word spice is the wrong word, because when Americans hear it, they think it's going to be
Hot.
hot.
Yeah.
What's the word? Picante, hot.
Mm-hmm.
In Spanish, there's caliente, right? And there's picante. So
Mhm.
one implies that it's spicy hot and the other is cooking hot. I don't know, but everything's spicy. It's not spicy. It's flavorful. But then it also can have some heat. What word do you use when it's spicy hot as opposed to like Indian, combination spices without any heat?
I just call it hot.
You just call it
Is that too hot for you? Is it heat hot or spicy hot? Spicy hot.
spicy hot. Okay, how much of this do I need? Doot, doot, doot. One,
Okay.
t- one,
One or
one
two-
half a teaspoon. I think that's going to be plenty.
Oh yeah.
I think so. Tell me. Go ahead and cut
Oh, but
that up.
that was for the dry. So I think it's 1.5 for the
The fresh.
uh-huh. You still
Have the
have enough.
recipe in front of you.
I know I looked at it before I got on. I was trying to decide whether I was going to go try and buy some fresh or if I was just going to use what I had in the cupboard.
You can totally use what you have in the cupboard, dear. And actually you can use however much you want. I mean, it is strong. Certainly the fresh is going to be a little stronger than the dry. Okay, so I got that. Now I love red. I love red onion.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to just, straddle it and cut it in half. These are humongous.
So you cut it in half on the long side. So you get root on both ends.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because I'm not cutting off that, and I'm also going to cut it again, quarter it, because I'm seriously, Dad, I'm going to be using all of that. And now I'll cut off, not the root end, the other one, bit of that, just so it makes it easier to peel the papery skin off. You can see, sometimes I take off yet another outer layer if it looks a little bit like it's had a hard life. It had some bumps on its way down the supply chain. So I want a nice kind of fine dice, which means I'm going to pretend that there's a line there that I can't go past. And then I'm going to just slice all the way down. If you can't go, just go as far as you can. The idea is just to keep them as thin as you can. Sometimes when I'm feeling really fancy, I'll turn it
Mm-hmm.
like this. This will get me even more of a precise dice. And then I'll go down. Just turn it.
I love the way that works. Boy, you taught me that. I was like so happy. I can mince an onion so much faster.
Right? This works great with shallots.
Mhm.
So how much? Because you want to do it quickly, right?
Yeah.
Quickly, a quarter cup of diced red onion. I love the red onion because it's also very pretty. I
Got
love
a unique flavor too.
it does. It's a little softer, but without being sweet.
Mm-hmm.
right? Of course, this one still wants to make me cry. Stop it. Bad. Okay, now I think that might be all I need to, red pepper. Now you could use a red pepper, you could use roasted red pepper if that's what you wanted. I believe it said half a red pepper.
Oh,
So-
I have to tell you, I've got the perfect cheat for that. I
The
go to
perfect
Aldi's.
cheat.
Yeah, I go to Aldi's and I buy those little red peppers and yellow peppers and orange peppers. And then I cut a 1/4 inch of the top off and all the seeds and everything go with the top. And if I'm hungry, I chew on it. But the rest of it has no seeds or anything in it at all. They're just choppable.
I think I know what way you're talking about. I do that too. Basically, are you talking about the way you cut it and you cut it
Yeah.
all the way around
Yep.
and you have little panels and
Yep.
they're easier to cut too. Peppers, red peppers, green peppers, yellow, whatever color. They're really, they're really good for you. I mean, I don't know if you've noticed, but we have a lot of them in a lot of our recipes. They are just packed with, vitamins and nutrients and you name it. And they're tasty and they're pretty. So that, I think that always helps. So I like to, cut and create nice little panels like this. Some people get super fancy and we'll flatten that out. Let's flatten it again and cut out this membrane. But that's too just French culinary. We don't. That's what I had to do for emerald. And then we
Yeah.
make a teeny tiny itty bitty brunoise.
Okay.
Have that on the set in multiple different colors.
Wow.
And it was this tiny. Yeah, that was some fun chopping. But
Well, that
boy,
was-
does it look pretty when you sprinkle it on the table. See, look at
Mhm.
that. We don't have to go that crazy. I probably should have used a yellow one because I bought that bag that has the yellow and the orange and the red. And it's nice because the prices seem to have gone down. You never know what the prices are going to be out there these days.
That's the truth. Whew.
A one day raspberries are, $6.
The next
And then
day
the
they're
next day
$1.
they're $3.
Yeah, $1.99 to $3.
Crazy. Little red pepper. So this is going to be very, very sweet. You'll have a chance to try the blackened salmon with the roasted pineapple. And
I signed up for that, but it was an in-person class.
it was an in-person class, yeah.
And I had to call you and say, unsign me. I can't get there.
But you were on the wait list anyway, but I really appreciate you doing that because and I'm glad you noticed because I think some people are getting confused
Yeah.
if it's in person or virtual. So Thursdays are virtual.
That's what I'm counting on.
Yeah, I mean that, I branded that. I want you guys to know that it is yours. We're here. I'm here for you. Uh-oh. Did I record this? No, am I recording? I can never tell. Pause recording. Yay. I always forget to record. And of course, if I forget to record, then it doesn't go to YouTube. I have done that. All right. So what do you think? We got enough that play? Go away. You little. Okay. I need to get my wand. The door's been open too much. So I think that's enough. What do you think? Enough of that?
Looks good.
Red pepper. Now I'm gonna get my little bowl for mixing. Crack the egg.
Oh, I have that bowl.
You have this one?
Yeah, it's a classic.
Yes, it is. It's the classic French.
Yep.
Oh, they never break. They last forever.
Yep.
We love this. All right, so I got my egg in here. I wanted to put that in first because I wanted to mix it up a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and add some fresh cracked black pepper. Kind of thick. I don't know about this 1/8 of a teaspoon stuff. I love black pepper. You know what I really want to add? I know it's not in the recipe, but I just can't help myself.
Lemon.
Little bit of lemon zest. What do you think?
That looks good. I zested a lemon last night with the box grater.
A little bit of lemon zest can only just brighten the flavor of anything.
Yep.
Okay, so then we have these crackers. Yeah, I've never been one to use these. I used to eat them. I love them because they're very satisfying. Have you the wasa
I
crisps?
love wasa.
Me too. So I want to say I think 2 might be enough. I didn't want to bash it all up on camera. I think I bashed up 3 of them, and I got almost 2 2/3 cup. So
Okay.
3 should do it. And I have that right here. So I've got the. Go ahead and put the dill now. Wait, I'm gonna put the wet in now. Boop, boop, boop.
So
Okay.
you just mash that in a plastic bag?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
the plastic bag and this baby.
Oh yeah. Wacka wacka.
Bam, bam, bam. Yeah, it just makes a lot of noise. I didn't think we needed to hear it. That was my mother's. Grown up with that, and that is what we use.
Wow.
Yeah. So I'm gonna throw all this in here. I just don't want to over mix it. Got my peppers. Got my onions. Never have too much onion. Oh, nibble of my cracker because it's really yummy. Got the dill. This addition, my secret ingredient. I have another ingredient. I don't know if I'm allowed to put it in, but I just can't resist. I'm just gonna put in a few, don't tell on me.
Okay.
Capers.
Oh. Mm.
And I know there's hardly any in there, right? That's very few capers, but I had some, and I'm just gonna cut them up a little bit. I rinsed them quite a bit. I'm gonna put them in.
You'll get the briny flavor without so much salt when you rinse them, right?
You really should rinse them always, but you still have the flavor.
Mm-hmm.
The interesting thing I found out is that capers are really healthy.
Wow.
I mean, chock full of all kinds of incredible, nutrients and vitamins and stuff. I was just like, those little guys, yes, those little guys. They're a little flower bud,
Mm-hmm.
which I love. I'm gonna have to start writing it all down because I can see people are getting more and more intrigued about what benefits are in our spices, and it's really wonderful to hear people want to know what they're putting in their bodies now,
Right.
more so than ever, which is really fantastic. So now I got to add my little crispy bits, which are of course the whole grain ones. They have a whole bunch of different varieties out there now. Boy,
They have rye and they have Yeah, I love the wasses.
Yeah, but you always want to get the whole grains if you can. All right, so this looks pretty well mixed up, right?
Hmm. Did you just peel the dill off the stem instead of trying to chop it finer?
What do you mean?
The dill, did you just peel it off the stems? I can't remember.
I plucked it off the stems. It was just a little wet.
Okay, and then did you have to chomp it with the knife or just,
I chopped it up.
okay,
Yeah, it must have
Oh.
been
I wasn't paying attention. I wasn't focusing.
you were drinking your wine.
No, I wish.
I'm kidding. Let me move this out of the way. I'm going to keep my fish spatula. Go away. You're dirty now. You're dirty now. Away. I don't think this pan's going to quite be big enough, but and I actually have some gloves. This is going to make six cakes.
Okay,
How about them apples? Do we believe that?
maybe.
Serve 6. This is always the come to Jesus moment.
Mm-hmm.
Because I am terrible with my portions. Like, oh, that's the size. No, that's not. That feeds a family of 4, Stephanie. Oh, oops.
It's easier to divide 4.
I'm sorry.
It's easier to divide the batch into 4.
I know, right? So I got to figure this out. I hope they stay together. I could use a scoop. So let's see, 1, 2. It probably would be a good idea for them to rest, in the refrigerator a little bit. 3. Actually, this is a nice it looks like a pretty decent size, actually. So far, that last one's just going to be the runt, though, right?
Mhm.
It's always the case.
Don't you go back and pick off a little off each one?
I know. I do that all the time. My mom must have made some. I don't remember those. I just remember the canned salmon and the salmon terrine.
Mm-hmm.
So it looked like a salmon. I have it. Still have it up there.
My mom used to put Jello in the, not flavored, but plain Jello in the meats. And that's what we'd have to eat in the summer.
Plain Jello in the what?
She'd grind up the meat and then she'd put plain Jello in and some, I think she didn't use Greek yogurt because that wasn't a thing back then. So it must have been
Right.
sour cream.
Okay, that just sounds wrong.
I know.
That's the old aspic.
Yep, that's it.
Yep. Get you some protein. I love those old pictures. Yeah, of the aspect meats.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that one's a little small. What I tell you.
In the molds.
All right. You guys better stay together. I'm gonna get upset with you. That's why I wore the gloves.
Make you feel like a
I
surgeon.
may not cook them all right now. I may just cook however many will fit in my pan.
Mhm.
I see the other one I have is too big. And this one is too small. So I need something in between. That'll be next. So it's a trek for both of y'all to come into Baltimore.
We're both on the Delaware side. So it's an hour.
Closer to me in Oxford, Maryland, right?
Mhm.
Yeah. I was gonna look up to see exactly how far, because I would love to come to Baltimore for maybe one in-person class in the summer.
That would be great. Or what about, if y'all know a facility, that could accommodate me, maybe I can go out there and give a cooking class somewhere in a teaching kitchen.
can
That
work
might
on
be
that.
interesting, close to the hospitals and
Mm-hmm.
for, nutrition students from the university or whatever. We're actually, I'm thinking about, working up a curriculum so I can train students, graduate students, in nutrition to do what I'm doing. So we can really cover all our bases, get people eating healthier.
That would be phenomenal.
Wouldn't that be interesting?
Yeah, AmeriHealth Qatar's is one of our Medicaid MCOs or insurance organizations. And I think they have a kitchen in their community room in Bear, but I'll keep looking. You're in Oxford, so that would be right down route.
Well, yeah, I'd love to get my program onto the Eastern Shore, onto this island of, Delmarva Peninsula.
I live on that island. I love it.
We're not out here enough. And
Yeah.
I haven't had a lot of time to really devote into that because I was devoting it into, launching the kitchen in Baltimore and then, COVID and now launching, our virtual platform. As soon as I get an assistant. So if you know anybody that's looking for a position in Baltimore to help out, that would be cool.
I'll put that out there.
Now that was a whole egg I put in here, right?
Right. That was your only thing that's going to keep it together.
That's the only glue.
Right.
So I'm not going to play around with these babies. I am going to turn it down though. I think it says like maybe 3 minutes. And now I need to wash my hands. Again. 3 minutes per side. It's probably more than enough. Now, I really thought that I could completely see this, with some nice bed of arugula. I got some baby. I've been looking for baby kale everywhere.
That's
Have
been
not
hard to
been
find.
able to find it.
That's been hard to find.
What? I mean, that's crazy. Real baby kale. Oh, it's delicious. White. Oh, yum, yum, yum. Love that. And then if you wanted to, have a couple tomatoes around, any of this is going to go great with our, the sauce, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it recommended a green salad with, little nervous using my metal spatula in here. Never a good idea to use metal on your non-stick. You don't want to get them scratched, because then you just have to throw them out. So let me turn one over. All right, well, that looks nice,
Mm-hmm.
right? Y'all can see these nicely.
That's beautiful.
He stayed together, and it really is a beautiful color. I have asbestos hands. Don't try this at home. I could use gloves, but that's it. I'm at home. You're at home. I did turn it down. See, it's a nice coloring there, right?
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
It's almost
beautiful.
as if you can see some of the pieces, the colorful pieces, the onion and
You really can.
the
I'm very
parsley.
pleased with that. You got some lemon. Lemon. So we're on some lemon slices and cut up some more of this. Tomatoes. I love these beautiful, different colored tomatoes.
Oh yeah,
Little-
the heirlooms.
Yeah, little medleys. The orange and just I love the colorfulness of it. I mean, and this is here, you got a nice meal. You know what else was really interesting about this? Is this salmon cake, croquette, whatever you want to call it, is good and delicious at any temperature.
Oh, so it's good cold. Mm.
It's delicious cold, warm or hot.
Wow.
Really, I thought that makes it super duper versatile,
Mm-hmm. You
right?
could make some like on Sunday for the whole week.
I probably won't be hungry until later and it'll be cold. And the idea of microwaving is doesn't excite me too much
No.
for this. But I think that looks good. Looks pretty. I guess next week is I think it's the paneer palak paneer,
What's that?
the
Oh,
Indian vegetarian
nice.
dish with spinach. I
Tell
think
you
these
that
are cooked, my friends. I think they look beautiful and I want to take them off. So I think this, all it needs, what's it missing?
needs its sauce.
Yeah, it needs our little pseudo mayonnaise.
Sheree,
had a
you
little-
you didn't get to see that when we put together the sauce. It was real simple. It's like a cup or 3/4 of a cup of plain no fat Greek yogurt,
Yogurt.
and then the horseradish, and then the dill. When that was it, right?
Yeah.
No, parsley.
Parsley. So we've got dill. They each get a little dollop. You can always have more. He just wants to go traveling. Okay, little dollop. Don't go away. Okay, fine. Be that way. Yeah. Mm-mm. Wow. How
Oh,
about
that's
them
lovely.
apples? I mean, really, this is, I could have been done with this really in 25 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So this was even faster if you'd opened up a can.
Yeah, but I'm really glad you showed me how to make it with fresh.
Yeah, think about it. If you have one menu and then you could, if you had leftover, like the little scraps, like I said, you could save
Mhm.
them, turn those into the croquettes,
Yep.
cook them. Even you could freeze them, honestly.
Right.
And then you have a whole nother meal, different feeling. So
That's probably why
I
my
do
mom
want
made
to
it.
taste one of these. Yeah. But I have to get a picture first. But I know I did cheat a little bit and add just a tiny bit of capers. but it doesn't need it, so you don't need to add them. I can't wait to see how the crispy, crunchy crisp bread works on the inside. I bet you I'm gonna like it a lot better than just some typical breadcrumbs, right?
Yeah.
This is probably almost you might be able to do this for, like Hanukkah or Rosh Hashanah too,
Yeah.
because it's got with the horseradish in it.
It's meatless.
So,
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah. So it translates, I think, international boundaries, and yeah, all the way around. The sauce, must taste the sauce. See if it needs anything.
Looks delicious.
Sauce is lovely. I do love horseradish. So voila, my dear friends, I can't thank you enough for joining me tonight.
Thanks, Stephanie. I really appreciate it. God bless you.
Oh, God bless you too. And namaste. Mindful cooking. You take care of yourself.
All
Julie,
right.
thank you so much for coming tonight. And I will see you next week.